selector. So every CSS rule will begins with the selector. Whenever you are going to define CSS, that means selector will be there. Okay, that means we have to access with the selector, as we have seen the example. Okay, the selector identify which element or elements in HTML document will be affected by the declaration rule. Okay, so wherever you define the declaration rule and which particular element you want to be identified, and definitely this will be done with help of selector. Another way of thinking the selector is that they are a pattern which is used by the browser to select HTML element that will receive the style. What is the meaning? The meaning is nothing. It's a simple. It says that like whenever you want some pattern to be used, okay, so the browser how the pattern they want, so it will be selected by HTML and it will be displayed on the browser with help of your selector. The moment you define the particular elements will give the different presentation. Then when we talk about the property, just now we have seen that properties and value. So which style properties of the selected element we have to use. Okay, each individual CSS declaration will must contain property. As we have seen that every CSS declaration we have the property. These property names are defined by the CSS standard only. It's not like that we have defined, it's by the CSS standard only. And CSS 2.1 recommendation defined over hundreds of different properties name. That means in earlier CSS 1, there were very less rules was there, less property was there, but in CSS 2.1, there are a lot of property name has been defined. You can see here as the same example again. Okay, the common CSS properties. What are the common CSS properties we have? As I've given the example for that fonts. So what are the font property we have? So font property you can use font, font family, font size, font style, font weight, font face, like this. So many properties are there. Whichever you want as per your designing purpose, you can use. The next same text, when you're using paragraph, I want letter spacing, line height, text alignment, text decoration, text indent, you can define. Now colors and background, you can define background hyphen color, background hyphen image. That's why you were not able to do the yesterday task because we have not learned. But if you would have turned the HTML book, it has given that you can use the background image. So background position, background repeat, color, same way border. So for borders, there are this many properties are there. These are the few common CSS properties which we use in the CSS. There are more is there like spacing. If you want padding, how much margin you want to define from bottom, left, right, everywhere. Then sizing, that means you want height, maximum height, width, everything. Layout, you want bottom, left, right, up, clear, display, float. This all things is defined into the style sheet properties and list also.